welcome to episode 9 of Anime and Us Other. I'm TJ.
And I'm Shawn.
And this is the review show that reviews anime movies sometimes. I don't remember what the intro is on this one. Oh well. That's what we're getting with.
Alright, we're good. So, we're doing another episode, which means the movie series Lupin.
Yeah, well, we kind of took a month off, so.
Yeah, sorry, I had COVID, my wife had COVID, my kids had COVID, all at separate times. But so it was like my wife had it, then she was cleared up, then my kids got it, then they were cleared up, then I got it, so it just kept going and going, so we couldn't meet up to do a podcast.
Yeah, so, we did a Lupin movie, and when we get into next week, we'll do the actual Agent Ike. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it's called, right? Yes. Agent Ike?
I think it's Ike, yeah.
So when we get to that review, it's been a month since we watched that, so.
It's been like 2 days for me. I just waited. It was 5 episodes we had to watch. It was 7 altogether, but we usually watch 2 together. So I'm like, I only got 5 episodes to watch. I'll just wait till the day.
That's true, too.
Well, yeah, so right now we're doing Bye Bye Lady Liberty Lupin movie. It's the first television special in the Lupin Third franchise, which means it's not technically a movie, I guess. Kind of like
I guess it's
History of Trunks wasn't really a movie, it's a TV special.
Yeah, I guess it's special, but it's the length
essentially a movie.
It's the length of a movie, so what difference does it make?
Anything over an hour, you're pretty much a movie. This is an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It was directed by apparently a veteran director, Osamu Dezaki, broadcast on TV in 1989, and apparently had a total of 27 airings, which seems like a lot. I don't know if that's a lot or not. It seems like a lot. I
was reading that last sentence there.
Including a crossover special with Detective Conan.
Oh, I just saw January 2019. That's why I was just weird. It was like, what's that?
I think they forgot to put Conan, because it's like 2 separate things we're talking about.
Right. But, well, I know what Detective Conan is.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I think I watched an episode or 2 on
it's like, night. Isn't that case closed?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It was on Toonami or some Adult Swim. Maybe both.
Maybe both, yeah. I don't think it needed to be Adult Swim. It didn't seem like something that needed
No, but you know how they played Dragon Ball Z on Adult Swim and stuff too, so.
Yeah, there was a period of time when DBZ episodes were airing for the first time. Like, brand new episodes were airing on Adult Swim late at night at like 11 at night, which is weird because it's not a show that needs to be on at 11 at night.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but people were watching it, so they were like, so.
Get viewership late at night because people are going to watch it.
Right, yeah.
Alright, so.
This one's weird.
Yeah, it's a little odd, but it's kind of right up the alley for.
Yeah, but it's.
The theme of.
It's good.
The Lupin movies, which is he's going to steal some stuff or attempt to. He's going to fail at some of it. Fujiko's going to be there to f*** him up a bit.
Uh-huh.
And maybe some weird mystical shit.
Yeah, but it's always different.
Yeah, it's always a different mystical thing.
Yeah, there's something always different about these movies. Sometimes they're boring, like the last one we watched with the samurais in the mountain and stuff.
Yeah, this wasn't that bad.
No. And then sometimes they're out there, like, with giant brains in jars and...
and aliens.
Yeah, it's like...
this was a little out there. I mean, they moved the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get when you watch a Lupin movie, so that's something.
I was really surprised because this came out in, I guess, 1989, because that's when it sort of aired.
Yeah.
And the drives back then for computer drives look very similar to the ones that look like now. Ours are just smaller.
Right.
So I was kind of surprised that...
I mean, it was... The internet kind of existed then, just not... Yeah. It wasn't, like, worldwide, Yeah,
it was more like one house to another.
Exactly. Well, it was more governmental than it was anything else. But, yeah, I mean, the voice acting is different in this.
Generally, the voice acting was fine, except for Goemon. I don't know why, but his voice actor was so stiff and terrible.
Yeah, but
like on the tier of some of the really bad ones we've seen in the past.
What I mean is that they changed the voice actors again. I think they went back to the other voice cast from that other one that we did because they brought back the Wolf name again.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I noticed that too. They called him Wolf again.
I think when they do these movies, they got one cast to do it that does the Wolf translation, and then they got another cast that does the original.
It might be whoever buys the rights.
Yeah.
And, that studio bought the rights to that movie to dub it. That's what happened.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Sometimes we get Wolf, because Lupin's not mentioned once in this movie. It's always Wolf. So
that's so weird.
Yeah.
I wish we could find out, like, a concrete reason for that. I assume that's what it is, right? It's just a certain studio wanting to do Wolf.
Yeah.
And the dubbing studio, not the studio that are making it. Because, like, that wouldn't make any sense for them to just be switching his name up.
Yeah, because I don't think Lupin means wolf, so...
We should probably Google that.
Yeah, we should, but who cares?
Maybe wolf means Lupin.
Yeah, maybe.
So, beginning of the movie, Lupin is going to the World Police Headquarters. I don't know if that was a correct abbreviation, but it's essentially that.
Well, technically, we don't know it's Lupin. It's Zenigata.
Well, yeah.
Because he's dressed up
Zenigata,
as...
but Zenigata looks a little off.
Yes, he does.
Just, slightly off.
He looked off, and I thought they changed his voice actor too, because it didn't sound like it. I was like, oh, that's going to be weird. Mm-hmm. But they didn't, because it's Lupin in disguise.
Lupin's wearing a disguise.
That looks like Zenigata.
He's trying to get all his information that they have on him.
Right, because apparently...
he wants to retire.
Yeah, but apparently they created a computer program that can predict every move he makes.
Yeah, they never reconciled that.
Not really.
Because he steals the information, and then Geegan meets up with him, and Lupin's retired with a blonde, and he's got all the stuff that he stole, the information.
He stole that information, but he couldn't steal it from every...
Yeah, police, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
He then tells Geegan that there's still copies of it at every single police department across the world.
Right.
So they can still protect his movements. They just have to get a copy from one of the many, many other sources. Right. So then they never reconciled, like they never destroyed that computer or anything. So
well, they
can just predict him from now on.
But at the end, when he's banging on at the computer, Lupin, I think when he freaked out at the end and it showed that distorted image of him fading away in computer screen, I think that was him. He finally
There's
cracked
still copies of it everywhere, though.
Yeah, but one of the things they were looking for...
They were showing hard copies, not digital copies.
I know, but the whole point was they were trying to find this virus that can go into all computer systems and destroy stuff. And I think that's
that might have been that, but that doesn't... It still doesn't... It's not a good reconciliation.
No, it's not a good reconciliation. I'm just saying, I think they did, though.
Alright. Oh, that's a pass. For a Lupin movie.
Yeah, considering there are crazy cults in this and stuff like that.
Yeah. How did we get to the main plot of the movie? I can't remember.
Well, Geegan shows up and says, I want you to work a case with me. Lupin says...
right. He'll be like, it'll be the last one.
Yeah, and it'll be the last one. Lupin says no, so he says, okay, I'll do it by myself with my old friend here. But then he decides the woman... leaves him
off screen. She leaves him.
Leaves him off screen, and then maxes out all his credit cards and stuff. So
for millions,
and he's poor now, so he needs the money.
Why? How does he even have credit cards? He's a thief. He's wanted by the world. How does he have credit cards?
He mentioned that too. He even has stolen credit cards that were maxed out. But I don't know. Maybe he's not a thief in one country and uses that country as his...
Yeah, maybe.
Somewhere
that won't extradite.
Yeah, exactly.
Ireland. I think Ireland won't extradite.
But, yeah, so he goes and he shows up, and then a bunch of people attacks him and kills Geegan's friend.
Yeah.
And apparently Geegan's friend... I don't know when he did this, but apparently the Statue of Liberty was remodeled, right? And he hid a giant diamond in there. And everyone's looking for this giant diamond, this cult that's after everything, Lupin and stuff like that. But we find that we get introduced to this woman later who had used the diamond to hypnotize herself to bury information in her subconscious, which is weird. But when did she get the diamond? Then when did the old guy get the diamond? The timeline doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so that was the bit of the muddled part of the movie where it's like. It's kind of hard to pay attention. It was just very slow, and they're just talking, and it's like there's nothing going on. It was boring. It was very hard to pay attention. I don't know.
Yeah. So they're searching for this diamond, and then this little kid shows up with a computer. He's apparently
he's like 6,
and he's a computer genius, and he has a program that can predict Lupin's movements and stuff. He's
got a very thick laptop that has internet, wireless internet, even though wireless internet is not a thing back then.
And so. Pretty much Geegan and Lupin steal the Statue of Liberty with a giant balloon that no one noticed.
Yeah.
Except for Fujiko and the guy she's trying to con out of diamonds who were in a private jet at the time. And
Fujiko's a little... I mean, we know this, but she's a little slut.
You say that, but she hasn't slept with a single one of these guys.
On screen, there's plenty of times where she's like naked in bed with them and the guy's walking around in robes.
Yeah.
That's implication there.
You say that. But she, at one point in this movie, she says, I'm not that kind of girl. And he says, yeah, I know.
Well, maybe it didn't work this time, but there were plenty of other times where it's implied that she did.
She says that in every movie, though.
I don't remember enough to argue.
She just gets naked a lot.
I don't remember enough to argue, but like if you're naked in my bed and I'm naked under a robe, like come on, something happened.
To be fair, though, she was not naked in this movie.
Yeah,
there was
she
another
did hide a gun in her cleavage, which was pretty funny.
But there was another girl in this movie who was naked to make up for it.
Yeah,
so
the kid's mom.
Yeah,
the crystal lady. Yeah, found the crystal.
The crystal lady, exactly. Who randomly meets Goemon in the Antarctic as he's on some kind of mission, and he falls in love with her.
And becomes her protector for some reason.
But we find out later, at the end, that apparently she had met Goemon years before, and that's Goemon's kid.
Oh, the kid is his?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that at all.
Yeah, she was like, when she's dying, she's like, do you notice how, was his name Michael?
I don't know, whatever.
The kid, how he talks in riddles like you do, and then she dies.
Oh. Now, if they don't continue that in the future movies, that's really shitty writing. Because, like, you can't give me the kid as someone, even if it's just like, hey, kid, you're in boarding school, and then you never see him again. That's fine, but you have to do something with that.
Well, to be fair, Goemon was engaged last movie, and we've never seen her again.
Well, yeah, but I think that was like a farce. I don't think he really wanted to be engaged. I have to become stronger and runs away. Yeah, I don't think he really wanted to do that, man.
Well, we won't know if anything happens in with the kid, because the next two movies are apparently just subbed.
I'll look it up. There might be a dubbed version of them, just not on the site we're using. That's very possible.
Okay.
So next time we need to do a Lupin movie, I'll look up that specific one.
Yeah, because we were supposed to do the Hemingway papers too, but I couldn't find a dub version of it.
There probably is. If not, then maybe we just go to a different movie series.
Yeah. I mean, there are plenty of other movies after this.
Lupin movies.
Yeah, that are dubbed, so it's just that specific one wasn't, so.
Gotcha. So, I mean, look, you want to continue with it?
I mean, yeah, we only got, like, to the part where he stole the Statue of Liberty.
So they steal the Statue of Liberty.
And they hide from the military.
Yeah, I mean, the military's coming after them, which is weird.
Well, I mean, they just stole the Lechus.
Yeah, but it's like, we're going to kill you after you stole something when we would have known you had done it in the first. Like, it's weird.
They don't know he did it, though.
Well, no, but, like, they should have. Like, it's the Statue of Liberty moving by with a balloon. Like,
oh, well, yeah. I mean, obviously, someone should have noticed.
And the military's kind of working with the enemies, I think?
No, they're searching separately, and they find it because of drones.
Okay.
And then the cult shows up. So
they got these weird... the enemies have these weird jeeps with guns on the bottom of them that are being parachuted down, like, dozens of them at one point. It's really weird. Yeah. Machine guns under the car.
And so Jigen and Lupin find the diamond, and then it turns into different people going on different places with hopscotching this diamond.
Yeah.
Like, Zenigata shows up and arrests Lupin, but then Lupin escapes thanks to Goemon, and the kid's mom shows up and saves him, and then the kid ends up with Zenigata for a while, while he has the diamond, and it's a bunch of things until it all wraps up.
A little like a rat race, I think.
Yeah.
A bunch of different things happen at once.
Right. And then, you want to explain the leader of the cult?
The leader of the cult is old, decrepit. Actually, when we first see him on screen, I'm like, is that a Sith Lord? Until he died, I was dead set on this guy being a Sith Lord, especially with his curtain of impenetrableness.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, this guy's got Star Wars powers.
Well, how does he use his powers?
Oh, I can't remember. Sorry.
He's got bad breath.
Oh, is that? Yeah. Oh, that's how he got Fujiko to do things for him.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, it's stupid. He pulls a sword out of his throat.
Yeah, that was weird. And then it, like, drips down.
Drips, like, poison or something? Mind control? Yeah, I don't know.
Liquid.
Anyway, it all ends up in some kind of office building where...
Well, he's number one, though, right?
Yeah, he's number one.
Number two is the doofus guy that has a lot of money.
No, number two is the mom, actually.
Well, I'm sorry, that's number three. Yeah, number two is the mom, the lady with looking for the crystal, the mom of the kid. Number three is the doofus guy that's got a lot of money.
I think this is the number 1, 2, and 3 is like a play on James Bond Spectre.
Yeah, I think so. Well, 2 and 3, the girl and the dumb rich guy, team up to kill number 1 so that they can run the organization.
Because they capture her, because she was running away from them, and then they capture her back.
And she made the team up because she was telling number 3, hey, what are you doing? Like, you need ambition. Like, you can be number 1.
Right.
So they go to do it. But they can't get past the impenetrable force field that the Sith Lord has.
No, an impenetrable curtain.
Curtain, whatever. They can't get past it. She gets naked, and she's like, "Oh, don't you want me?" Something like that. And he's like, "Yeah, my old bones." And he gets up out of bed real quick and opens up his impenetrable curtain so he can her.
And then he gets shot in the head.
And then number 3 comes over and says, "No, you're going to be number 1." And then she's number 1.
Yep.
That was weird. It just seemed like unneeded.
Well, and it's funny.
Sexuality with this dark Sith Lord type character. Didn't need to be there. She was like 99.
Yeah, no, he was really old. Which is, this whole twist here at the end here is because the woman was being built up as sympathetic at first, then as a spy, like, working against this group, and now all of a sudden she's the main antagonist.
Yeah, it was weird. But then she's still good?
Kind of, because when Lupin and stuff...
She gets stabbed later on, and then Lupin and them are, like, saving her.
Yeah, but Lupin and stuff shows up, and she betrays them.
Yeah, she throws them down a pit.
And then she gets betrayed after she releases the information that was locked up in her subconscious by a diamond and computer.
Number 3 is like, "Oh, you unlock the information. Stabby stab."
And then, again, like an idiot, she unlocks it and gets stabbed. And then she ends up dead at the end.
Yeah, so she's bleeding out for the next, 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And Lupin wants to save her again.
Because,
why? Because she betrayed you guys.
Lupin has a soft spot
for pretty women.
For pretty women, yes. Yes, he does. And so, after they defeat the bad guy, he uses the computer program to try to take over all the nukes in the world and blow up everything. And so, they have to have this stupid little thing where they have the tiny kid trying to...
inherited his mother's big brain. Computer brain, I think is what they call it.
And the computer, what are they called?
I don't know what it's called.
The stacks.
Yeah, it's just stacks of keyboard lighted buttons.
But they're 20 feet high off the ground.
And the kid needs to hit the one on the far left, then the one on the far right, then the one in the middle, then the one on the top. It's just so dumb.
And he's on Lupin's shoulders, and he's got to throw him up.
I really hated that part.
It was stupid. But, they avert thing. The giant crystal is actually destroyed, and the cult's office building is self-destructed, because of course it is. Mm-hmm. And the mom dies.
Number 3 died. Who was number 1?
Yes.
It's actually 1 through 3 died.
Yes, they all died. And I guess the kid, the kid was revealed to be Goylan's son, and then we cut over to Jigen and Fujiko in the apartment with Lupin, who's going crazy trying to figure out how to do it, get the virus to destroy the information that the cops come, and as we said at the beginning, it implies that he does do it, and then it just ends. Yeah,
I want to see the resolution with Guiman's kid. What happens with that? That's probably my biggest takeaway here. You added a whole new element into this, thievery type comedy.
Right.
Movie.
I mean, but to be fair, that was my interpretation of it.
That's probably what. I think I just missed that line.
Yeah, but that's what I heard, and that's what I thought it was. Mm. But, I mean, it's not the worst Lupin movie we watched.
Oh, definitely not.
It's
not even close.
It's
the
actually,
Big Brain one was way more dull.
I think it's one of the better ones, actually.
Yeah, I'd give it a 7.
Yeah. It's pretty decent, honestly. It's a Lupin movie, though. So, it's
a Lupin movie.
It's crazy. And if you like Lupin, you're gonna like this one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If you like Lupin at all, this was...
Easy one to watch, yeah.
Alright, guys.
Yeah, I think that's all we have for this one.
I'm not going to rank them against each other. I can't remember.
No, I mean, I think
we got to stop that. At least with the Lupin movies.
I can remember their names, but there's no point. It's because with the Lupin, they're so different from each other, it's hard to...
Yeah, the only common factor are the characters.
Yeah, it's
the story has almost nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, exactly. So...
Alright, next episode, Agent Aika.
That one should be fun.
Alright, see you guys.
Bye.